That is right. The Ram has remote start from the factory in it, and in fact, it knows it's cold today. It's actually sort of sunny but cold in the UK, you know how it is, but it's left the blowers on hot and on full hot, and as you can see, this isn't actually lit up yet, but it's on hot and it's actually blowing out full hot air, and in fact it's put the heated seats on and the heated steering wheel. Now I haven't left the car on like that, it actually does that from the factory. How sick is that? Anyway guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can see by the title, we're going to go and check on the 106 GTI. I'm going to put the key in now, rotate it round, and then there we are. Everything goes down to blower speed that I left it on. Sickest car ever. Anyway, let's get on. We've got a parts engine being delivered to the unit that we're going to take a couple of bits off. I actually cracked the cam cover, which I completely forgot about, so we're going to take that off today. I've actually got a new decap pipe as well for the exhaust system. Let's get on, let's get to Ian and yeah, get this engine off, start breaking bits down, and give you guys an update as well as to what's happened behind the scenes, because it's been actually 2 days since I've been out to the unit to check on the 106 progress. Again, we're shooting stuff for the channel constantly, life, it's all over the place. So, let's get on. Let's take the Ram out there. Woo! Also, a quick sorry about the state of the truck. I've actually been obviously daily driving it and enjoying it, and yeah, it gets dirty really quick, this thing. Right, we're back. The 106 is up in the air. We've got many other toys here. Ian has many toys. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, mate.
Yeah? Are you enjoying life?
Yeah, lovely.
Yes.
I'm loving the sun today, Jack.
Yeah, the sun. Like, look at this. Let's go out here. It's a lovely sunny day, not dingy, no parts broken and stuff. Now, I did actually get another engine brought here, not to put in the 106, but we're actually going to take the cam covers off it. They're broken though. So that's that. I don't know how it's happened, but I've actually broken the back cam cover at some point. So obviously, before we put this back in the car, we want to put those covers on because everyone wants cam covers on an engine, don't they? Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, and it just protects the belt as well. So
yeah, like it's obvious. So we're trying to actually source one of them now. Hopefully, we get one today. It's just one of those things. I'm convinced every single one I've looked at is actually broken.
Yeah.
So talk me through what's happened.
We're at a point. So head's been away. We've had the head skimmed just to take any warping out of it because you did have a head gasket issue.
Yep. Just in case.
So that's had a light skim. It's all been cleaned up. New gaskets, new bolts, all torqued down. Your cat cams are in.
Ooh, exciting!
We've cleaned them up and they're all in. Everything's timed up. Ready to go.
Cool.
Obviously, new cam belt, new tensioners, new water pump.
New everything.
All on the engine. So, yeah, we're just waiting for this. So, the back cover has to go on before the pulleys for the camshafts.
Just there.
So, it sits just there, just to protect the belt. So, we really want to get that. And then we can box up the cam belt. That'll all be done. Engine can then go in the car as a complete unit.
Yeah.
And then we can sort wiring and stuff.
Which is good because at the end of the day, you could put this in now, and then we could mess around with the cam belt covers and all that.
Yeah,
but it's just not worth it, is it? If I took this engine out so it could be easily, you know, stuff could be easily done to it. So it seems a bit silly to put it in now. We haven't got literally one bit of plastic. And for reference, it actually fits in here, doesn't it? But
yeah,
it sits behind the actual cogs here.
There's another cover here, so this cover will sit on the outside,
just like that.
So. And then there's another plastic cover that bolts to, so it encases the whole cam belt basically.
Yeah. Which again,
unfortunately, there was remains of your top belt cover, but obviously, I mean, normally they will come off with the cylinder head, but they are quite fragile, and obviously it's quite an old vehicle now, so obviously it's either cracked when they've undone the bolts in it, or something's happened.
So I again don't really remember that happening, but they're brittle enough for them to break anyway when they're sat on the floor and you sort of scuff past them. So I can only assume that's come off and then something's broken. It's just one of those things though, when you're building a car, especially an old car like this, these things happen. So we're actually trying to source one of them as soon as we can. We'll see though. Yeah. Because like we where did we ring? Parts department and trying to find it, and they're out of stock.
Peugeot are no longer available.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just waiting to try and get hold of one of those. Unfortunately, the one on the engine that's been brought over today has been cracked.
Yeah. So there's no point in us putting another cracked cover on the because we're gonna have to take it apart anyway.
So I'd say if anything breaks off it and gets in between the cam belt and the cogs, then obviously that's not a good scenario. So.
No. Plus, if I wanted to replace that when the engine's in the car, everything's got to come back off again. Yeah. Literally, cam belt, like everything has got to come off, and it's just not worth it. But that's what sort of building cars is like, isn't it? It's one little thing will hold up sort of the whole whole
we've
process.
Been busy ordering parts for it, so got a new gearbox mount. We've got all the service items for it, so new plugs, oils, filters, etc., all ready to go. Yeah. New belts. So it's all here, ready to go. Literally, that is just stopping us now from
which is so
putting
typical
it in the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get there with it. I'm sure we'll get there with it.
Now, the other thing was we actually, I bought a centre section decat. So I'll show you guys this because it's a nice bit of kit. It actually came literally the second I got in the truck this morning. So take that out. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Okay. She's nice, mate. Look at that bit of centre bitty. Basically, because the got a new manifold and that coming down, this bit here, which is that bit, was literally. When I took it off the car, was split in half and terribly welded. If you guys remember, terribly welded, and this actual centre section or decat pipe was actually split. So I thought I'd go ahead and just buy a new one there, about 60 quid, which isn't too bad from the old eBay, and it turned up like in a day, which is really good. So that means like there'll be a full, nice, lovely, relatively new exhaust system. The actual manifold's new, the centre will be new, back box is relatively new, and the centre pipe's got a little box in it, so it should be nice and raspy when it goes on, mate.
We've also sorted out the steering stuff while it's been here, so new track rod ends, new gaiters on the steering rack.
Oh yeah, because one of the things we noticed when this was actually all apart was, you wouldn't have noticed, would you, was the actual steering gaiter bit here.
That was missing.
Which in theory, it wasn't there, and that must be such a normal thing to happen to these, but you wouldn't necessarily notice until literally the engine was out of the car. Yeah. You wouldn't notice that was gone, so obviously for MOT purposes and, you know, servicing the car properly and stuff, we went ahead and did that as well. Just to make sure, because you're not going to get into that once the engine's back in. I wouldn't want to try and do that.
With the engine in, so that's all been done. We've got a few bolts and bits and pieces to tighten up on the suspension once the drive shafts and that go in. Obviously that'll all be done. So yeah, we've got new top mounts to fit. I know you've got other bits and pieces.
Yeah, there's like, I want to pull the wheels off and just get all this nicely aligned and cleaned up, and put the caps on the wheels, like just various little bits like that. Nothing too, you know, that would take too much time, but obviously the main priority at the moment is getting that engine in, and you know, we can start on the wiring phase once everything's in, mate. Sorry again. I'm gonna say sorry again, because projects like this, again, like I said in the last video, mate,
we took it on. You know, someone else has taken the car apart. Unfortunately, they haven't bagged bolts and certain bits and pieces in order, so you're going through bags of bolts trying to sort out what
just
goes
work
where.
out what goes
Obviously,
where.
we haven't taken it apart, so it, it makes it a little bit more awkward, but it's just a little bit more time-consuming stuff to do it. You know, the last time I touched one of these cars was probably about 12, 14 years ago. So.
Really? Wow. Okay. But you've delved into these before. You know sort of what's going on with
bits on the 106s. I used to work for a company called The Firm, who, if people know the name, will know that they are a Volkswagen specialist now. Years and years ago, they started as a Peugeot / Renault and Volkswagen specialist.
Oh, so you've been part of the French game for a while then, mate.
We did a lot. We did a lot with the French performance magazines back in the day. I mean, that's going back now, probably
some time now, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a fair while ago, probably 95, 96 that was.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it was a fair while ago. But yeah, it's all starting to come back to me.
Yeah, I bet it is when you're like, oh, I remember how stupid these were, and like, or how easy Meccano-wise they are actually to build. Because, like, although I'm very simple, and I'll say this all the time with mechanics and stuff, I do actually get a lot of what's going on with this engine. It isn't actually as hard as maybe other cars that
they're fairly basic engine.
before.
I mean, the actual engine to put back together is fairly straightforward. It's just a case of, you know, if the bolts have been bagged up in sort of bags, you know, this is for cylinder head, this is for engine, this is for this.
It would have been a lot easier.
A little bit easier, but
basically, what we're saying out there is, if you ever build your car or pull your car apart, make sure you bag all the bolts.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's the first time I've ever really done something like this.
So in here, we do like sandwich bags. Just buy sandwich bags, and then as you take things apart, you can just mark the bag up. So when you come back to it,
you know
all the bolts
well what it is.
Their area are in one bag, and you know you're fairly straightforward.
So main rule of building cars: bag stuff up.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah,
keep it in order.
Because then you know what you're getting yourself into. And obviously, when we were doing this in the unit, and there's no bad blood with any of it, because I really enjoyed the experience. Just putting it back together is a nightmare if you don't have all of the stuff. Or if stuff's broken by accident and stuff, you're just trying to track stuff down. It's just one of those things. So, yeah, happy with the progress though, mate.
Yeah, we're getting there.
It's getting there, isn't it? She's getting there. Obviously, like, there would be people like, oh, why isn't the engine in the car? We've already sort of said why it isn't in the car. Want to make sure that cam cover is ready to go first before it actually goes in. But
basically, I'm hoping, you know, once we get the belt cover and the belts on the car, which is fairly straightforward now, engine in, which is fairly straightforward to get it hung. We've got a few bits of wiring to sort out and just tidy up a few bits. And then once that's done, it will all come together quite quickly at that point. A lot of it was the fact that the engine was apart. Like I say, we're routing through different bags and boxes where there's different bolts. There's also bits from, you know, other heads that have been taken apart.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. I've had other things,
pieces going on. So trying to just sort out what goes where, so we know where everything goes, and trying to remember, you know, from back in the day where these set bolts go and what they add in them. So yeah, once it's all back in the car, wiring done, fluids in, and hopefully we'll turn the key and away to go.
Yeah, so, which will be in a couple of videos. I want to do another video of actually this going in the car and the wiring and stuff, and then we'll try and get the start. Yeah. So she's like, whoop. Blah, 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 blah. I know it's not going to make like the most cammiest noise ever, but like I'm just excited for Super Sprint or Pug Sport with like the Super Sprint manifold, but with like the cams. It should be a really nice, like, naturally aspirated little 106 GTI moment when she starts up.
Yeah, should be good.
Well excited. So I'm actually back in the office right now. It's the next day and I didn't end this video. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Obviously, as I've said in the past, the 106 GTI is just a long build. It's a restoration, in theory, of this little car that I bought last year. But if you did like the video, if you did like the update, please give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't. More 106 content coming very, very soon. I'll see you on the next one.